Hello everyone, welcome to Be Muscle. Today we're going to be talking about a fat loss transformation and week 7 of my 12-week cut. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give this video a like as well. And if you're looking for a fat loss transformation, but you find it really hard getting past week 1 or 2, check out the 8-week foundation phase, okay? That is part of the Be Muscle coaching. Link is in the description below. So let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to start off with the dashboard for myself. Average performance score over the last 7 weeks is 84%, which is good. We are in the green. Anything above 75, it's basically green. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for 100% perfect weeks, okay? We just need to cement the basics. That's all we need to do. Check-ins. This is my 7th check-in, for the 12-week cut, and 23 workouts now completed as well. So let's go to the weekly tracker and let's see exactly what happened for me last week. And look at this, 10 out of 10, 100%. I was looking for a very good week this week, coming off the back of a birthday week, etc. Slipping up with protein for a couple of weeks in a row as well. So this week was really important that, I sort of knuckled down, just make sure everything was good. And it was 10 out of 10. Training, managed to get 3 out of 3 workouts in. Wasn't a problem. That's now 4 weeks in a row I've managed to complete that. Cardio, 50 minutes. That was a 50-minute run done yesterday. Managed to around 8.1K on a run, which was actually quite good. That's probably the furthest I've ran in a long time. Managed to complete cardio 7 weeks in a row. Nutrition, meals, averaged 3.4 meals. No planned snacks, no unplanned snacks. Fruit, veg in every meal. Managed to do 7 out of 7 on there. 2 weeks in a row completed. Protein in each meal, 7 out of 7 as well. I've done that for the full 7 weeks. Calories, 2,500 is the target. And look at that. Basically dead on. 2,499. Protein, this was the main one for me to hit. I didn't hit this 2 weeks in a row. So this week, I really wanted to make sure that this was hit, and it was. Okay, so 180 is the target. Managed to get 171. Remember, with the macros, there's a 10-gram leeway each side. So yeah, between 170 and 190 basically, and I managed to get in that one, which is good. Fats target is 80. Managed to get 83. So again, near enough perfect. And carbs is obviously just the rest of the calories. Lifestyle target is 2.5 liters of water average per day. Managed to average 2.9, which was really good. Again, a very hot week, so more water was consumed. An average sleep duration target was 7 hours, and I managed to hit 7 hours and 17 minutes altogether. So yeah, look at that. All 10 targets completed. This doesn't happen every single week. But yeah, having a 100% week, you got to look back and go, wow, literally a perfect week. Okay. So yeah, just going back onto here, let's have a look at the last 7 days. As you can see here, my training days last week were Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Cardio, managed to do the 50-minute run. That was obviously yesterday. Meals, Sunday was 2. Then I managed to hit 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, and 3. So yeah, all in all good. The Sunday one is the 2. This is the one where I like to, if anything, delay the first meal as long as possible on the weekend, and then I can enjoy more of a treat and just save my calories for the treat. In the week, I divide my meals up into 4. That's not a problem. Friday, 3 meals. Yeah, I have 2 in the day, and then that was just 1 in the evening. Usually I have sort of 2 meals in the evening, really. And yeah, same with Saturday. No snacking. Again, just purely sticking to my meals. Veg, salad, or fruit in every single meal. Again, easy. Every single one. Protein in every meal. Again, normal for me. Calories. Again, looking at this, 2.7, 2.2, 2.5, 2.1. So it was a little bit of a low one there. Remember, my target is 2,500. 2.6, 2.6 again, and then 2.5. So again, if you go over, like this one here, I went over 260 calories. I've got the rest of the week to get the average of 2,500. And that's exactly what I did. Some days, what was it? This one, 2, 3. There's 3 days I went over the 2,500. A lot of people would have given up. They would have given up. But this is why I give clients an average calorie target for the week. Because if you go over, you've still got time to hit your target. Okay, 1 day doesn't mean anything. If you have a really bad day, doesn't mean anything as long as you're back on it the next day. Protein, again, this one was a really important one for me to hit. 145, again, on the weekend, when I have less meals, less protein. Okay, and it makes sense because it's hard to get a lot of protein in just one meal, unless you have obviously a lot of probably meats and things like that. But yeah, generally it's quite hard with less meals. But again, when it hits the normal week, so you got 170, 17, 17, 202. That was a good day. That's what probably bumped my protein up, 1.7 again, and then 1.54 yesterday. So you can tell on the weekends, protein's slightly lower by 20, 30 grams, but in the week is where I get mainly all the protein in. Okay. So yeah, as long as you're not too far away from your daily numbers, you'll easily hit your average target. Fats, 80, 60, 60, we've got 80, 104, a couple of high fat days there. Anything over 100 is probably quite high. Again, I like to be around that 70 to 80 mark. We managed to hit it in the end. And again, it was the low fat days in the week that made the average there. Carbs is obviously simply just the rest of the calories. Water, again, very hot week. So 2.5 liters for 3 days, 3 liters, 3 liters, 3 liters, and then 3.5 yesterday. Sleep. So what do we have? We had a 9 hour, 6, 6.5, 5.5. I don't like it when I get around 5 hours. A 6.5, 7, and then a 10.5 hour sleep last night. And again, that boosted my average up. I think my average before that was around 6 hours 45. So I wouldn't have hit the target. But again, I always make sure, Saturday night going into Sunday is a nice long sleep. Okay. And then steps, not tracking at the moment. Caffeine, not tracking. Alcohol, not tracking either. And again, if I want to bring in steps to help more fat loss, I can, but use the tools when it's time. Okay. Don't use all the tools at the start. So let's touch into measurements. So with this one, body weight went down just fractionally. I mean, it was basically the same. We were 96 last week and we're 95.8. Okay, so we're just down 0.2 kg, which is 0.4 pounds. Again, basically just a maintenance week, really. I'm going to have one more week on these calories and cardio, and then if weight stays the same, then again I can make another drop. But I need to just make sure that this is right. Okay. If you make a change to your diet, as in you drop calories or you increase movement and weight just stays the same, always try for one more week, because the human body can be quite weird. And sometimes it just needs a bit more time for the body to drop weight. The human body is a lot more complex. For me, if I was to give a reason why this potentially stayed the same, probably due to the heat, probably holding a lot more water. So again, probably needed to drink way more water than I did. So this is what's going to happen when we have really hot weeks. The week after, especially when it cools right down, everyone's going to be holding on to a lot of water weight. So we definitely need to drink a lot of water, especially the week after. So yeah, I can actually see my body weight actually dropping next week, probably by 1 kilo, probably more. So yeah, I'm going to hold everything the same, because I reckon there's another little drop just before I make the change there. Just touching into the check-in ratings. This is where I just measure, give simple ratings on certain aspects. So recovery rating this week, I put 9. Really, really good recovery. Protein actually dipped. I think it was this week and this week. That's why I really made sure protein was high. And yeah, look at that. Protein actually went up. I had a good week of protein, and look, recovery went up. So it just proves that protein is essential. Make sure you're getting all that protein in. Energy levels as well, actually up as well, back up to 8. That's really good. Energy actually throughout the 7 weeks has literally stayed around 7 and 8, so fairly consistent there. Sleep quality, this one was actually back up to 9. Every time my head hit the pillow, straight off to sleep. Didn't wake up in the night. So yeah, literally near enough perfect sleep. And then stress levels actually dropped from 6 to 4 there as well. So obviously the lower the stress levels, the better. And yeah, anything below 5 is actually reasonably good. When you get above 6, and especially when you get to 7 and above, that's then time to just look at what's causing the stress and see if you can bring it down. But apart from this, at the moment, being at 4, that's absolutely fine for me there. And we'll just touch into meals and snacks. And as you can see here on the chart, so we'll just clean this up. So we got just meals at the moment. So we've been fairly consistent, staying between 3 and 4 meals as an average. We actually did go a little bit lower, 3.1 average, 3.1 there, back up to 3.4. The more meals you have, the less snacks you're going to have. If I throw in planned snacks, I don't plan any snacks for myself, so that's always going to be 0. But what can happen is the unplanned snacks. Okay, these are snacks that we don't even plan for. We sometimes have them. This was my birthday weekend, so I think we had a barbecue. I didn't track that day, and I just wanted to relax and just have a day off tracking and things like that. So yeah, unplanned snacks went up, but you can see as the meals go down, the unplanned snacks go up. Okay, so again, it's really important. The more meals, if you can, stick to 3 structured meals. In an ideal world for everyone, if they could, which makes dieting so much more easier, is sticking to 4 meals. Okay, but a lot of people think, 4 meals is just it's a pain, it's a lot of effort, but it's really not. It's just like a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner, and then maybe kind of like a dessert, high protein meal after that. That's basically it. So look at it as a breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert. You can just literally look at it like that. And yeah, there are ways around it, but you stop snacking, okay? Because you just look forward to the evening. You think, no, I'm going to turn these snacks down. I've got 2 nice meals tonight still left. And yeah, it just keeps you looking forward and, ultimately keeps you on track there. So yeah, that is everything there. Just looking on the weekly tracker for next week. Okay, so no plan changes for me. Like I said earlier, I just want to keep things the same because I got a feeling that there can be another sort of big weight drop next week due to the heat and holding on to some extra water. Yeah, I don't see the value in dropping anything. I've still got 5 weeks left of this cut. I've still got plenty of time. I think in an ideal world, I want to lose another, I think it's around 4 kilos. That's a minimum. And yeah, I can see a kilo coming off next week. So, 3 more kilos in 4 weeks? Easily done. So yeah, just looking at targets next week for myself. 3 workouts. So again, I'll aim for the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Cardio, again, I'll do that Saturday morning. Nutrition, obviously, yeah, just stick to my planned meals, especially 4 in the week. Fruit, veg in every meal, protein in every meal. Calories staying at 2.5, no changes there. Protein around 180, which is 170 to 190. Fats 80, carbs obviously rest of the calories, and then lifestyle 2.5 waters average at a minimum, and then 7 hours sleep average as a minimum. So those are my targets next week. No changes from last week, and that is basically everything there. So yeah, not much of a weight drop this week, but sometimes you just have to wait. I think for clients as well, there wasn't many weight drops this week. If anything, weight went up. Even if you had a perfect week last week and you're looking at the scale thinking, why didn't the scale go down? I literally had a really good week. Sometimes you just need to zoom out and go, there are probably external factors that you're not aware about, but you need to keep going. You need to keep going, because if you go again next week, that's when you see your result. You don't see results straight away. And I think that's why a lot of people sort of give up, with this whole process and that type of thing. So yeah, if you're looking for, a fat loss transformation yourself, but you find it hard, especially getting past that first or second week, check out the 8-week foundation phase. Link is in the description below. Okay. The foundation phase is very, very simple, and it just sets you off in the right steps. Okay. It gets you moving the right way. A lot of people fail because they go advanced too quickly. Okay. And then they have nothing to fall back on. But if you can master a foundation for yourself, when you do push forward, you have something to fall back on, which means you're not going to go all the way back. Okay. We always go up, little step back, up, little step back. Moving up and down is normal, okay? But, we don't want to go all the way back to the start. We just want to take a small step back, okay? And yes, that's how the way life ultimately works. And if you can master the foundation, it literally sets you up for, really good results, okay? So yeah, that's everything from me. I will see you next week so we can review week number 8 of my 12-week cut. Have a great week.